Let's see if this works. It sounds like it's working. Yeah. And we immediately, someone subscribed. Cool. Let's see though. I gotta make sure. It always takes a second to make sure. Yeah. Hey. Hi guys. How you doing tonight? Looking lovely. Looking lovely like always. So today is going to be, as I social media this stream that was voted on Twitter, I'm going to be taking questions tonight. Yeah. How's the sound? Yeah, you're still an admin. Yeah, you're still an admin, because you're my favorite eagle. Yeah, if everything sounds good. It looks a little dark. I don't know why. It looks a little dark. But that's the thing it does. Okay. So yeah, let me tweet. Boop. Easy peasy. Is easy peasy Japanesey? Is that a little racist? I don't know. I'm not a you know, I'm not privy to this kind of thing. Boop. There we go. That should be good. Cool. All right. All right. Here it goes. Wow. Wow. That was a lot of... Okay. All right. And it looks like chat is working on the thing. Again, of course, as per usual, if you want to make sure I definitely mention you, the Streamlabs is right down there to make sure that you know, I get to you, because I'm only one man. And even though I try real hard, I try hard. I don't want you. I want to force you to support the show and support me unless you absolutely want to, and I don't want you to feel like I'll ignore you if you don't. But god damn it, it gets hard. Farrah Ray, is it odd that all the D&D stuff Jake does is what I look forward to most on YouTube? No, it's not, because this content is grade A quality YouTube content. Like this is like the ambergrease of YouTube content. And if you don't know what ambergrease is, then that just means that's how good this content is. I bring you new information constantly. Hi, Pop. Darwin is over there looking like a doggy. I refuse to give you money unless you win it from me in the suicide pool. Nice. Is it odd that all the D&D stuff that... no, I already read that. Where was the other one? Stupid Jake. When will you give a chance for other games besides D&D? There's a bunch of RPG out there. Some of them are good. Yeah, I can only sink my teeth into one thing at a time, okay? Only got one mouth. Does your D&D character have a name? My personal D&D character? I'm the DM, so I don't got one. But yeah, all D&D characters should have names, because all people tend to have names. That's just how life works. Can you help Sargon with his cringy D&D DMing? I cannot. What's a monster that's fucking stupid but you love it? A stupid monster. The Nilbog. I will explain the Nilbog to you. Let me get my books up. Let me get my D&D books up, and I'll share it. I'll share it with you on the old screen here. Where's my fucking monsters manual? There it is. They changed my setup. Is Nilbog? It might actually be in Volos now that I think about it. It is in Volos Guide, so let me go look at the other ones. Tabs you've set us. Okay, alright, okay. Alright. Let's try. What the fuck? Yeah, I got it. Fucking Windows changed from Reader to. Now they do, I forget what that other fucking. That other, thing is like. It's whatever their Internet Explorer used to be. It's Edge, I think, maybe? Microsoft Edge is now their PDF reader, and it's fucking garbage. 182. Nilbog. That's a Neolithid. All right, let me get you guys. Let me get you guys a little window capture action. Wow. Wow, that is a lot of... Why is there so many... Okay, actually, we're just... Okay, maybe? Let me see what that looks like. Ugh. Ugh. See, Microsoft Edge is just open a million times. Okay, all right. This is just a clusterfuck of nonsense. Let's just go with display capture. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. So yeah, you should be able to see Nilbog. Fuck it, I don't care. I don't have anything open that you guys can't see, do I? No, the my dick pics are here. Anyway, a Nilbog is a goblin that is okay. In D&D lore, I change it around a little bit. D&D has it so that like it's what's their trickster god? Is it Maglubiet? I don't know these names, but anyways, it's supposed to be one of these specific gods. And kind of, it jumps around into different goblins. Nilbog, obviously, goblin spelled backwards. But I used this before to like a trickster thing. And it's actually hard to kill because in response to another creature dealing damage to the Nilbog reduces damage to 0 and regains 1d6 hit points. They heal when you hit them as a reaction, so they can only do it once per round, technically. But they can also disengage and hide as a bonus action. They can, and I changed this around a little bit for my level 4 players, but it fucks around, and there's actually what is it? Innate any creature that attempts to damage the Nilbog must first succeed a DC 12 Charisma save throw or be charmed until the end of the creature's next turn, which is another reason it's hard to kill. A creature charmed in this way must use its action praising the Nilbog. So yeah, it's fun to throw at your players because they have to. They are forced, literally forced, to praise yourself, I guess, because you are the Nilbog. So yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I do have Xanathar's Guide. Where's Hugo? Hugo lives in his own house. He is an adult. So yeah, he's off doing that shit, doing his own thing. Oh god. Is it bad? I have a knoll fetish. Nah, whatever, man. Do your thing. Can you give me any advice on things I should do as a knowledge cleric besides healing? I'm new to D&D. A knowledge cleric? I don't know what you mean. Do you mean you're a cleric that's not necessarily religious? Which is fine. You can totally do that. Doesn't matter. Although I like... Honestly, because I'm not a religious person, if you can't tell, or if you don't watch a lot of the other channels or whatever, it doesn't come up much on Pop. But I'm not religious. But and neither is my girlfriend. But my girlfriend plays a religious cleric. I like kind of putting players in a situation where they actually have to role play. And I think being religious if you are not, or not being religious if you are, those are interesting role plays. And so I think it's fun. But a knowledge cleric is fine. It's no big deal. As far as besides healing, yeah, there's a lot of stuff clerics do. You have a huge list of things you can do. You can impose disadvantage depending on, your different, like if you're next to someone. Of course, this depends on your, like, where you started. So I don't know what a knowledge cleric is. That's got to be homebrew. I gotta assume. Unless there's one maybe I don't know. Yeah, there's just shit tons of stuff you can do, and depending on if you're beefy or not, you can be sort of a meat shield. Your cleric should... I think clerics in general want to help people unless you're, not necessarily a good cleric, and so you should just play it as close to what the character would do, and that's what you should do. So you could do lots of stuff besides healing. Like, you can also multi-class into fighter, which is really fun too. It's a 5e cleric domain. Let me check it. Let me see what you can do as a knowledge cleric. Let me bring it up. So let's open the books again. Let's go, because all my books are actually downstairs. because we played Sunday and was today like Wednesday. Yeah, I don't usually bring them up because I try not to sit here and actually do D&D stuff until like Friday, so I don't just like my life doesn't get ruined. So let me look at what the knowledge cleric is like, just in case. Cleric 56. So let's go here. Let's see your knowledge domain. Okay, the gods of knowledge. I see. That's fun. Command, identify, augury, suggestion, non-detection, speak with dead, arcane, Okay, so actually you're out of combat. By the way, D&D characters and a lot of new players think that how you benefit a team of other players is in combat. There are so many things designed into D&D that help outside of combat that it's crazy. Like, if you have a DM that always, every session is like moving towards a combat, I don't like that. I don't like that a lot at all. Now, I think you can play every session and have a combat or something similar. I've done them without, but I don't think a combat to me is always a utility. It's a utility to tell a story or to slow things down, to kind of make the players understand that there's stakes. So as a knowledge domain cleric, like, I'm looking at these, just the things the knowledge cleric can do while you level up. The first things you get are command and identify. Identify immediately off the bat. You are able to identify stuff like magic items and stuff. You are the guy that they go to. All the information that they need comes through you at this point. Command, you tell something else what to do. That's important. So it's not just healing. First level, you also get 2 languages of your choice. You can be proficient in Arcana, History, Nature, or Religion. So again, like, you can, when you're walking through a place, you can say, hey, that religious artifact, can I check that out? And then the DM might go, yeah, go ahead and roll Religion, or roll Arcana, or roll History on that. And you are the person that basically the canon of the world is more deeply unlocked because you know this kind of stuff. As an action, you can choose 1 skill or tool for 10 minutes. You have proficiency with... See, again, you can use your channel divinity to become good at 1 skill or tool just by asking the gods of knowledge for their assistance in knowing things. So yeah, you can do a lot of utility stuff outside of combat. Don't think of your character as a combat archetype. Think of it as a person archetype. That's the most important thing here, especially for new players, because it's not all about combat. You're welcome. I don't know what you're thanking me for, but you are welcome. Any advice for a first-time half-elf sorcerer? I have a rough idea of someone who grew up in the elven realms, but only half-elf left soon after reaching adulthood. What do you mean advice in this case? Because you're giving me your backstory, are you looking for more backstory information? Because I like to ask my players certain questions early on. Like, I gave them an actual printout so that they could figure out kind of backstory. And kind of, I think the next... One thing that people kept asking me when we were rolling Jevup, which is the character we rolled together on not the last live stream, but like 2 or 3 live streams ago, like backstory. How do we get a rich backstory? And part of it for me is like, you just do your thing, man. I don't like rolling on a bunch of tables and stuff. I think I like actually crafting a character from start to finish and using those tables as sort of, I don't know, like inspiration, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably do an entire thing, questions that you should ask yourself while building a character to kind of get how to roleplay them. Maybe I'll come up with an interesting thing. Maybe you wanted to be a sorcerer, you find out that based on what you wrote, a warlock makes more sense. And they're very similar, but you know. Sorcerer. I've actually never played a sorcerer, so the sorcerer points I'm not super keen on. So I haven't actually gone through that. But advice for anyone that's playing a magic casting class like a sorcerer, a warlock, which is a little bit beefier, or a wizard. Specifically those 3 because they're less beefy than, say, a paladin or a cleric, who usually come with some sort of armor, or a big, like, heavy armor. I would say learn your spells. There's a really cool app, if you don't know, called 5th Edition Spellbook. It's got every spell, really. And it kind of was that. Let me turn my my brightness down so maybe you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, it's got everything. You can just like say you want to go to Acid Splash. You go there, and it shows you everything you have to know about Acid Splash. You can write notes to yourself. You can make your own kind of book with it. That's what I use when while I'm DMing, so I don't have to remember a bunch of shit. But as a player, you should remember the spells you commonly go to. You don't have to remember everyone. And I believe sorcerers, if I'm not mistaken, you can just... do you have to prepare spells as a sorcerer? Because again, I haven't played a sorcerer before. But I know like a cleric, you do have to prepare spells. So, but either way, have the stuff ready. As a first-time player, regardless, try to know like what you're going to be doing your next turn. Something might change, that's fine. But have a rough idea of what you want to do next turn if things are similar or the same, and there's nothing saying that you're locked into that. Yeah, you just know spells. You know a shit ton of spells. At a certain point, you know 15 spells, and then you have slots. And then do you... I'm going to read. You know spells. Okay. Yeah, it looks like you can just kind of do it and you don't prepare spells. So yeah. Also hang back and don't kind of face tank things because you're you know you're squishy. Last time I read, D&D combat would generally give more XP, so if players would like to change and evolve characters, they have to fight. Loot was a huge thing back then. Is this a problem? That is wrong. If you have a DM that says the only way to gain XP is to fight, they're a bad DM and you should quit immediately and find someone else that's new. Like, that is so... that is so terrible. That's so terrible. Anytime they do a thing... like difficult. So say they do a speech check that's difficult. Say they have a really good roleplay sesh, like moment even, just a moment of good roleplay. Anytime, say you get into a fight and they talk themselves out of the fight just because they didn't kill the enemies doesn't mean they didn't defeat them. Anytime they open like really hard locks, anytime they avoid traps, like anything that takes skill that you can get better at, they should be rewarded for. That's so stupid. Loot and XP is just no. Come on. Yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff. If you have a good DM, you'll get XP for a lot more things than that. How can you roleplay an integrity-focused character who is in the party with thieves, necromancers, even just neutral on the good-evil scale? An important thing to remember is that this is a game that you're playing with your friends and not a game that you're playing alone. So while your character may lean towards, hey, don't do that, also, like, the thieves can do that. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like you're with a bunch of murder hobos, though, and that sounds really boring. Yeah. So, as far as how you roleplay it like they would, but, like, also realize that your character needs those other characters to pull off what they want to get done to. So it's kind of one of those things. What happens if you put a bag of holding into another bag of holding? They're each pocket universes technically, and so they interact and they explode and they hurt everybody, and then they scatter all the contents into random planes of existence. That's actually in the rules. How important is it to you that a player role plays heavily? I want to try finding people to play with, but I'd feel really awkward talking in accents and voices, but I don't want to ruin it. You don't have to do a voice or an accent to roleplay. I find roleplay super important, but I don't force it. What I do is I, as a DM, encourage it. And do know, I'm not going to penalize you for not roleplaying, but I will ask you to talk in your character's voice, which doesn't mean you have to do a voice. It could be your voice, but talk from the first person is what I'm asking, not like, hello, I am Jebub Dargel, the fighter. He's a halfling, or a gnome, or whatever the fuck we made. And he doesn't have to talk like this all the time. He can just talk like this sometimes. Or he can just talk like this, and you'd be like, Yeah, man, that's not cool. Don't do that, or I'm gonna have to kill you. Like, that's fine. Like, that's totally fine. But role-playing is important because... two things. Very important two things. The first, most important thing, it bonds you all together and it makes the experience better. And number two, it's fun! It's just fun! Don't be awkward, it's fine. I promise you, you're not playing D&D because you're cool, right? You're all playing D&D because you're big nerds, and that's okay. Nerd out, have fun. It's okay, loosen up. No one cares. If I die in the game, then do I die in real life? Yes, just like Dark Dungeons by Jack Chick. Oh, DM, it's 2 a.m. Should I... It's 2 a.m.? 3... What? Are you in the Atlantic Ocean? Are you in Iceland, maybe? That makes sense. Should I go to bed before... Should I eat before I go to bed? Yes, you should always eat. I love you, Jakey Poo. I love you too. Here it's 2 a.m. Yeah, but it can't be England. That's farther than that. It's gotta be in the Atlantic. It can't be England. Or the UK. Could be Portugal, I suppose. Brazil, see? Maybe down Brazil. Saludos desde Chile. Wait, what? Hold the fuck on. Why is it... I need to look at a map now of Chile. Why is it... Oh yeah. You always think I always think of South America much more directly south than it actually is. It's more east-south. Or south, well, southeast, but more east than south, I guess. Yeah. Okay. You're directly south of New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Very interesting. Okay, yeah, I buy that. I'm with you. I'm no longer skeptical, but yeah, I think Greenland would be roughly the same. That's strange. Anyway, let's I'll get back to your fucking daylight savings. It's yeah, but it's Earth is tilted. Well, yeah, I know Earth is tilted, but it's still on an the way the axial tilt works. Anyways, got any pirates? You guys are terrible. How do you deal with dice that roll off the table? Do you chase after them and try to get the number, or do you re-roll? Always re-roll off-table dice, all the time. That is the official rule on in my D&D sessions. Can you congratulate me on finishing exams? Did you do well, Raging Ice Cream? Is there... And then there's XQ Wolf. Please yell at me for not working on my finals projects. Again, I don't know why you guys are sassing. By the way, I have 8 pages here. 8 pages of what I consider well-written backstory for an NPC that the characters ran into a while ago. Luis Cortez being all about it. Kebabs of Darkness. I don't know. Can we make an NPC? You want to make an NPC right now? Yeah, probably. You guys want to make an NPC? You could probably make an NPC. But I want it to be a random NPC that isn't something they fight. That's what it has to be. How do you balance rule of cool with actual rulebook rules? If it doesn't break directly the rulebook rules, I typically allow it. For example, if our rogue would like to run and jump off the shield of our cleric to get a boost to jump over a table and clear it to stab some goblins, I allowed that. I allowed that thing because it's just movement. She wouldn't have gotten any farther had she just walked. It's cool, and so if she can succeed her dex roll, if the cleric can succeed their strength roll and she hits, I'm going to give her a little bit of a bonus. I mean, that's 3 rolls to get to the point where she wants to get. If you succeed all those, you get a bonus from me. Not a big one, but it's enough. And she did. Like, I let her add another d4 to her damage. I thought it was fun. And she killed the thing, so cool. Okay. If there's no good kayfabe written into your backstories, then I don't know what that is. I mean, I have the gist of what that is. I feel like it was a wrestling thing, and you missed the Y in it. Portrayal of staged events within the industry as real or true, specifically the portrayal of competition, rivalries, and relationships between participants as being genuine and not of a staged or predetermined nature of any kind. Silly. Silly. I don't know why you guys like wrestling. His name is Hugo, and he's a bard with no charisma. Kind of funny. About combat, giving more XP back then. I was asking about the game as written, not how a GM can alter that. If the game is giving support XP for RP and challenges, sorry, limited characters are... You have limited characters in this? I guess you do, 1 out of 200, but you can just always write 2 more things. It's written in the book that you can give them XP for more than that. I don't... The only reason people think that is because in the monster manual, it has specific XP for, like, a thing that is a certain level of difficulty. But yeah, just, I mean, read your shit. Is it okay if I accidentally burn down a temple and blame it on the goblins? I mean, what's D&D? Oh, Spencer. The rules do heavily support non-cap. Yeah, of course. Rogues are the best. Seriously. I mean, sometimes. Seduction. Farrah Ray donated 20. Thank you so much for making all these. Got a rare disease. Think MS with rabies, so don't get out too much. Learning to DM in world making has been best escape from the pain and monotony ever. Let me go to the thing to finish that. You seriously kick all the ass. Love you. NPC, please. Alright, thank you very much, Farrah. Sorry you have rabies, MS. That sounds like it sucks, but I'm glad that, you know, we can get you out of here with a little bit of happiness every once in a while. D&D is Dungeons & Dragons, Spencer Hankerson. It sounds... How do you... Okay, I'm not going to explain the entire game of Dungeons & Dragons and how it works just like right now. I have a whole series of that. Go watch that, my guy. And I'll be here. Let me get a piece of paper out so we can write down some NPC things. We're going to write a whole backstory, guys. A whole one. Let me get a pen out. Or a pencil? No, we'll go with pen. We'll go with a pen. My official TBR pen. Very cool. Yeah. Xanathar is the new rule book, by the way, for instance. Okay, so right now, I need a... Everyone just write down a race. Okay? And then I'm gonna roll. I'm just gonna have an online die roller, and then I'm going to just do that. So I just need a race. Black. Wow, nice. Bugbear. Okay, I'll just roll a d20 and see what happens. 1d20. Boop. Oh, +1. Oh, I added a +1. That's what I see. Okay. A 15. So, whoa, buddy. I'm going to go from the bottom. Oh, God. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Looks like a Dragonborn. So Dragonborn it is. Even though Kender got written a bunch of times. What is a Kender? Let's see. What is a Kender? Oh, it's from Dragonlance. Interesting. Are they basically just halflings? They look like they're halflings. I don't know what those do, but that's just a halfling. I think you just... Anyway. They're gay. Are they like gay like they like each other? If they each have a pee-pee. Okay, so now, Dragonborn, male, female, or something else. Like, what is this? What is the sex and or gender of the Dragonborn? How is it going? How about gender? How's it going to outwardly express itself? Herpetophobia. Why are we're still with a black? Okay, everyone wants it. Oh, it's gonna be a black Dragonborn. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Black Dragonborn. You get it. They're a half-elf gnome. That's too many things. No gender. Female. No gender. Pedro just a spamming. Female. Gender fluid. No gender. One woot from Farah. Female. Looks like the vote is in on female. Hermaphrodite. Now that's sex. Black gender. All the genders. Alright, looks like we're going to go with female. Black Dragonborn, female. Okay, what is this person's trade? What are they? Why would this NPC encounter the adventurers? What are they going to be doing? Let's get something unique too, not just like he sells weapons. Like, no one wants to see Dragonborn tits. Somebody does. Female Dragonborn. Yeah, why do they have titties? That doesn't really make sense. Lizards don't breastfeed. That doesn't make any of the goddamn sense. They drop eggs. They shouldn't have breast tissue. Anyway, okay. Prostitutes lame. Pimp lame. They pickle food in their gullet. Yo, Jake, how much? I don't know what you're asking the quantity for. Bounty Hunter, kind of like in Bounty Hunter. I'm not going to play Doki Doki. More Bounty Hunters, there's two. Last of her kind? Well, Dragonborn have a whole kingdom, so I can't do that. Big Game Huntress. I kind of like that. Okay. Big Game Hunt. I'm going to go with Big Game Huntress. Big, unless something else happens. Big Game Huntress. Specifically, I'm not... It's kind of like Bounty Hunter. So Bounty Hunter people also cheer. But it's not just Bounty Hunter, because one of the characters they're going to turn into is kind of that. So... Bone Density Scanner Salesman. Space Pirate! Okay. So, what big game? What is a big game? Probably from the Monster Manual. What are they hunting just all the time? Maybe what is their armor made of in that scenario? Maybe they have specific armor that is made from the materials given by that animal or monster or something. Oh, fuck, man. I love you too, Mox. Mox 3. Hey, the stream actually works for you. Good. I'm happy. A Bounty Hunter. Interesting. Slimes. Slimes are kind of fun. She hunts her own kind, dragons. That's kind of fun, too. She hunts vampires. It's a monster that's a human hunter. Is it common for DMs? We'll take a little stop for a really good question. Martin Teal? Martin Teal. Is it common for DMs to have private conversations with players about backstory or motivations? I do. I think it's common. I don't know if any other people do it. I assume other people do it, because how else would you get good plot hooks with them? I like to ask the players, you know, on their own every once in a while, like, how do you feel about blank, you know? Unless it's I guess it's a one-shot, that doesn't matter. But yeah, in any sort of long-term campaign. Love you, Martin Teal. I think it's Martin Teal, but I like to say Martin Teal. How's our favorite capricious god? That's me! I'm happy. Happy for you. Do you like the dragon? She hunts Tarrasques. There's only one Tarrasque, and it is much too much for her to... That's like a 25. She'd have to be crazy. Like crazy high. How many campaigns are you running? Just the one. Thanks, Cherry Blossom. I do like the idea that she hunts dragons. So we're going to say hunts dragons. The only problem is I'm going to have to wait to use this character because the dragons are to the south. But I have a feeling that I can incorporate this in a fun way. They could be patrolling up north a little bit and find out. She never finded the Tarrasques, but she hunts it. Come on, finded. I'm going to give you a pass, Pedro. It is found, however, the conjugation is found. I'm not nearly as bilingual as you, so you get a pass on finded. How often do you change the color of your clothing? I have friends that tend to repaint constantly. Do you mean for your characters? Because I mean, whatever. Jake, I used to play, this is from Lil Young ASAP Tyvo Vivo. Jake, I used to play Magic, but I kind of stopped a year ago. Do you think I'd enjoy D&D given my background in that, and also compared to how expensive Magic is and how much dough is D&D? Oh, D&D is, it could be as free as you want it to be, honestly. It's you know, borderline obscene, the difference between price in D&D and Magic the Gathering cards, especially if you want to, you know, play in tournaments and stuff. You gotta stay current. I mean, if you like Magic, you can't not like D&D. I think it's so similar in not in any way that you play, just in kind of like the kind of person that likes Magic is kind of the person that likes D&D. But the play is very different. Well, I'm thinking she hunts dragons, but like, you know, dragon things, wyverns, all sorts of the young dragons, like dragon, what are they called? Guard drakes, worms, young and ancient dragons, stuff like that. Although she couldn't kill an ancient dragon by herself, she would get fucking murdered. But yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe she thinks they're tyrannical in nature. Not all reptilian-based creatures. No, that's silly. Keeps trying to fuse the two together. Well, Wizards makes both Magic and D&D, so I get it. So is she a killer or a trophy hunter? It's gotta be killer. Killer of Dragonborn. All dragon things. Mr. Slug King donated $2 in the super chat. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Slug King. You're the best. Can she ride a dinosaur? No, but we can give her something that's not lame as a mount. That's for sure. What? If you don't know anybody that plays D&D, is going to your local game shop, I assume, a good idea? Yeah. People play D&D all the time, man. Also, asking online is fun. Elephant. A wyvern. Let's look through the monster manual to try to find out what we should do. Let me look. Let me look. I kind of like... Well, there's a lot of different to like. Actually, I think it'd be more cool if it wasn't a mount necessarily, but maybe like her Chewbacca. But maybe not a super sapient Chewbacca, just like kind of like a sidekick animal monster thing that could help out. I think that'd be fun. Owl bears are cool. Could be something small, which would be also fun, like a pixie or something. An eagle, something like that. What do you guys think? What's your thoughts? Thrycreen. She could ride a beholder. That's too much, man. A slime named Mr. Jelly. Giant slug. Oh, wow. I understand why I DM and you guys don't. A lot of you, at least, don't. Just memeing. Just memeing. Trying to have a fun time. And you guys are just over here like, wouldn't it be funny if? No, it wouldn't be funny if. It'd actually be pretty lame. It would be genuinely lame. My players would be like, why are you so lame? And then I would explain to them it wasn't my fault. It was their fault. Dusty Jans. Hey, Jake, what makes an excellent bad guy? I'm doing basically a dark god-empowered goblin who has this strange fascination with the party. He plays with them like a cat playing with a mouse. I like that. What's his motivation? Is it just a fascination, or does he have a higher motivation? Is his cat playing with mouse more like cat leading mouse to trap? Is it to try to... Are they trying to... Like, maybe the reason the adventurers turned into adventurers is because this god-empowered goblin makes the players, it toys with them, pushing them around like a cat plays with yarn or a mouse or whatever, pushes them into situations so that they can get stronger, so eventually it can take out some form of the dark god-empowered goblin's, I don't know, nemesis or something that the goblin can't necessarily do himself, or maybe he's trapped on some plane but can still affect the world, but can't get to this one person. Something like that, I think, would be fun. I find it difficult to give a character an animal companion that's likable without making it overly cute. Chewie is one of the few exceptions. I actually have a character, well, I talked about him, Sig. He has an animal companion who is a giant snail named Jeremiah, and he's not super cute. Yeah, shit, that does make sense. Yeah. You got it. Always ask yourself why you're making the enemy you're making. Like, sometimes it can totally just be, I'm making it so they can fight something. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Not everything has to have an actual, I don't know, idea behind it. It can just be like, that's an interesting thing. But if it's that, like it's that important, like it's literally causing actions to take place in these players' lives, it should definitely have some sort of like why to it. It should have an answer to that why as well. Giant bat. How dare you, Shizzo? I will not answer that. An invisible familiar. Invisible imp. I feel like you definitely watched Crit Roll for that one. Fey Wolf Spirit. They're going to the Fey soon, probably. Long story short, this is from Mufasa Trump, which is great. My character is a wizard pretending to be a merchant and has recently escaped from a cult level 1 in a level 6 campaign. What sort of merch should I specialize in selling? You're level 1 in a level 6 campaign. That's a weird choice the DM made. Any merch that you find your character would be interested in. It really doesn't matter. I don't know. I would look. I don't know what world you're playing in, honestly. So, I think peculiar merch is the best way to do it if you're a wizard. It just makes more sense thematically. Farrah Ray, she argues with the weasel, but no one else hears it, so they think she's nuts. But it's actually using telepathy. Yeah, I'm kind of in on this. She talks to things, but I'm trying to think about how to pull it off. Like, this is a thing I actually have to do, right? So it's kind of hard to... She is looking for her companion bird person. She only refers to him as a bird, so players think he's just a bird and then reveal him as bird person. One of my players is a bird person. He's an Aarakocra. Or an Aarakocrin. So he is, yeah, he's a snow owl bird person. Potions. Everyone loves potions. Yeah, sure. A Thrycreen typically has psionics. Yeah, it does, but it bugs me too, Eagle Cohort, when DMs handicap new players. I don't like that. I think you should have been started at level 6, unless you want to be level 1. That seems awful. There I go, memeing again. Okay, let's push off the companion thing for a second, and let me find some fantasy names for Dragonkin. Female. The first one that popped up is Cindo, and I kind of like that because it sounds like Cinder. Cinda? Cinda. I'm gonna go with Cinda. Cinda. S-I-N-D-A. Boop. Nailed it. What a good name for a dragon. Would it make more sense for a DM to make a new player a little more OP? No, not really. I think learning it with the struggles that it takes to learn the game are important. No name should have Bert in it. Okay. All my other party members are level 6, and I'm just hopping in. It was part of my backstory to be a fresh escapee, and he had to escape into a country that's perma-winter mode. Oh, a Skyrim? Is it Skyrim? Well, I mean, however you want to do it, man. You're going to be severely ineffective for like 10 straight sessions. So yeah, I don't know. Probably longer than that. I didn't meme. You memed. Pop. What the fuck? What? A Modron. Oh, I actually kind of like that. If you guys don't know what a Modron is, it's a little itty bitty mechanical doodad. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Holy shit! Oh my goodness! I don't know if you saw that, but that was crazy. That was pretty insane-o. That was wild. Well, my pen's broken because I can't find the spring. No! This is one of our first pens we ever did. And, is there a spring in there? Oh, no, it's not broken. Okay. Anyway, I popped it, and the top popped right off, and that was fucking rad. Shot right off. You roll a 1. I did roll a 1 on pen. I wonder what a werewolf dragonborn looks like. Yeah, it would look like a wolf or a dragonborn or half wolf, half dragonborn, depending on the form they took. So how do you think your game is going? Asked Dusty Jans. Maybe you can ask us for advice with difficulties you're having. Give us details, you slut. My game is going really well, I think. They've all been having a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun. You can ask Eagle Cohort, but I let him read what I wrote for the players, and he gave me some really good feedback. So I guess I'm doing all right. It sounds like I'm doing a good job. I think I can always improve on something, but you know, basically all I care about is they have fun. So I think they're having fun. It's probably Dusty Johns, but I'm just always going to say Jans. What do you think of Alchemist in 5e? I have an Alchemist right here. Boop. But, yeah. I'm, playing that later. So. Also, that was extremely bereft of details. You're correct. I don't. My players can watch these things. So yeah, let's do a Modron sidekick. What's the Modron's name? I guess he didn't see my question. I did not. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of them. If you want to make sure for a fact that I do your thing, I would suggest Super Chat, or the link in the description is to my Streamlabs. Excuse me. Let me go look for it. Okay. So I have a problem. This is from Jonathan Campos, who said I missed their question. I got you. You have a problem. Whether or not I am DMing or playing, my group still takes forever to get started. Any advice on getting a group of people to get off their phones and play? If you're DM, take their phones at the beginning of the session. I don't know. I would set your fucking phones down. Like, I'm really blunt with people, so I don't know. Maybe you're just not, but I'm just like, fucking do it. Fairray donated $5. Name it Quincy. It is done. Quincy. Quincy the Modron. Boop. Got it. Thanks again, Farah. You're the best. What? I once had a familiar for my sorcerer that was made of clay and blood, the character's blood. He would change shape and spells like turn to wood, stone, metal. He was fun. Was it a homunculus? Because that's fun. What type of machine should it be? Well, Modrons kind of are just little robot dudes, but we can describe the robot dude if you want. What's the robot dude look like? I'll give you a little... Oopsies. Let me show you what a Modron looks like, just so you can kind of get a good view of it. Ding, ding, ding. And this is, of course, a mono drone, but let me get you. That's them right there. They're kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Geary. What's the word for that fucking type of... I don't remember. Not steampunk, but clockwork is the word I'm looking for. So yeah, they can be all sorts of things, but this is typically what they kind of look like. I figured I would just do monodrone because they're kind of fun to look at. So yeah, and they can fly. I think you can turn fly on for any of... I mean, you can make them whatever you want, but they're fun. They're good times. Like, why does he have a bow and arrow? It's so adorable. What's he hunting? Why does he have so many spears? And he just got a little sword. It's a dagger. It's not even a sword. It just looks like a sword because he's so tiny. Real cute. Hi, Raxus Tycho. I remember you. I remember you, baby bird. There's one of them in orange? No, he was like an eyeball. Just geometric. Steampunk, no, it was, yeah. It was, Clockwork. A little Clockwork Knight, yeah. Who is his daddy and what does he do? Yeah, the Monodrone Companion does add a new angle because the entire automaton subculture, which is, you know, Modrons and stuff like that, they actually have their own civilization, but the gnomes are trying to take back over and be in charge. Has all sorts of stuff. Oh yeah, it'll be super individual. What's your fave new fighter subclass? I don't have one. Samurai, I guess. It's kind of neat. Well, yeah, but that's Modrons serve the mechanist and gathering from a material plane is like in your game. In my game, they are just robots. Mechanist is not a thing. Mechanist is not a thing. I think it's Mechanus also. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Yeah, it's Mechanus. Boom! Boom! Are you late? Casey Shepard, you are always late. Always. Okay, so we have Cinda, the black dragonborn female. She's a big game hunter. Hunts dragons. Kills all sorts of things. Dragon has a Modron sidekick named Quincy. I don't know. Just corrected yourself. No, I didn't correct myself. No, I corrected Eagle Cohort. That sly bastard. Yeah. Yeah. You know what it do. Can I say that? Is that a thing that I can just go around saying now? You know what it do. You guys should give me permission to say things that are just totally out of character for me. That's kind of how my life should go now, I think. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Ooh, John Lindner, $5 from Super Chat. Jake, can you tell my son Ethan that I can play guitar as loud as I want in my own house? Do you want me to yell at your child? Because I will do that. You paid me $5. I will do it. So take a second. Take a second to turn your exterior, you know, your volumes up, and I will yell at your child. I will yell at your son Ethan. Ready? Ethan, you leech of a bastard, son! Your dad can play guitar as loud as he wants in his own house. It's his house, it's his rules. If you have time to lean, you have time to clean. You gotta step up to bat. You gotta pay rent. You're a child. I don't know, I'm just saying like dad things, like dadisms. I'm not a parent. Also, if you keep fucking with your dad, he's gonna backhand you. And none of us will look at it. Okay? All of us are gonna look away, and if it goes to court, I'm on his side. Fuck you, Ethan. There you go. You're welcome. $5 well spent. Thank you very much. Get your shit together. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Ethan needs to get his own house. Out of character for Jake. Speak like a Mormon missionary. Try to sell the D&D in the D&D. The Dungeons and the Dragons. The Book of Dragons. Jake, be my dad and only talk to me in that accent. No thank you, Colin. No thank you. You look like a fuckboy. And no son of mine would be a fuckboy. But like a good fuckboy. Like a fuckboy that, like, you don't ever get actually laid. Like one that's ineffective. Your gravitas is astounding. Do I have gravitas? Do I have clout? Do I have clout? So what clout looks like? I don't fucking know. Is that your Brooklyn accent? I have no clue. Any advice for finals this week? Yeah, study. Get out of here. Get out of here and go study. What are you doing? So the Dragon Hunter talks to that accent. That's fine. It's the Morty accent. No, the Morty accent is... Oh, come on! I can't do it, really. He's just kind of... It's too loud. Where the fuck There was definitely a question that I was going to say and I missed. Stop complimenting him. His ego is hard to deal with anyway. Well, you know. Would you play Fatal if given the chance? I don't know. Maybe? What's Fatal? F-A-T-A. Fatal. Fatal. Is it a game? Game? Wow, it's got a really shitty rating on RPG Game Index. Just one review and it says it's poo-poo. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know it. I don't know what... okay. I don't... There's not a lot of information on this in my very brief... Don't look it up. Okay. I hear it's garbage, apparently. So, yeah. It's economics I don't want to study. Economics, supply and demand. Okay? That is all you need to know. If there is supply, that's because there's demand. Price accordingly. It's a shame I wasn't born in Brooklyn in real life. What campaign stuff were we on again? We were just fucking around and asking questions. There's not really anything. We did make an NPC, Cinda, black dragonborn female, big game huntress. She hunts dragons and dragonborn and the like, and she has a Modron sidekick named Quincy. I demand you supply me with demand. That's just too much. Jake, as an inspiration to all of your baby birds and the de facto father figure, would you watch a YouTube video we created, or would you be like our actual fathers? God damn it. God damn. Shirt's coming off. No, just kidding. Yeah, I'll watch your YouTube videos and just hack you to death relentlessly with my words. Sure. Knonkler donated $3. Do you have any advice on how to deal with players who don't stay in character, moves other players shit, and tells others false things about your character, dealing with that now and want to quit? Wow, that is a lot. Let me make sure I hit on all your things. So let me bring up your page. By the way, Knluker for the $3. Thank you so much. You're the best. Are they fellow players? Are they like? Is it a fellow player, or is it, you know? Are you the DM? Tells others false things about your character. So you must be another character. I would bring it up to the DM first, and have the DM take care of that immediately, and definitely talk to that person honestly and be like, dude, you're kind of ruining my experience here, and I think everybody else kind of agrees that this is not as, you know, cool as it could be. It's not fun, right? You're just not being fun. And if they're bullshit with that, that's fine, whatever. But I would talk to the DM, and then I would talk to the other players if they think that this player is being garbage. And everyone should talk to that person at the same time or separately, because that needs to be taken care of. He is a fuckboy. Yeah, very cancerous. Oh God, we got another Brienne is 1219 subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. You're my favorite person right now. Maybe they might just not know they're being annoying. That's a good point, Cherry Blossom. They might also just be a cunt. That's also fine. The Modron has developed human sentience, has a crush on the Dragonborn, but doesn't know how to handle these emotions. They technically already have sentience. They're more of a hive mind of sentience, though. But I want to explore their sentience when they get to that part of the world, not necessarily here. So, yeah. Yay for you! Everyone in this fantasy chat will now be called fuckboy regularly. That's not a new word. I don't know why... What? That's not a new... Okay. Question about the weather. This is just in general. Did you get a lot of snow? Mount Pleasant got fucked up. Yeah, I got about... God, it's got to be like a foot out there. Maybe 8 inches. Just long enough. Huh? Huh? Yeah, it's a lot of snow. You guys should not encourage this behavior for me, seriously. Does Cinda have an accent? I don't know. What's the accent? Accent. Boop, boop. What kind of accent you want Cinda to have? Well, let's first give me a phrase. Give me a phrase that I have to say when you say, "Hey, do an accent in blank," and then here's the phrase. Black. Welsh. I don't know how to talk like a Welsh person. Let me see. Welsh accent. Fucking, why would I... How to speak with a Welsh accent? Let's see. Why would I know... Why would I just offhand be like, yeah, that's Welsh. I live here. I live in America. In America. This ad is garbage. Oh, I'm getting an ad because I want to unpop. That's not my YouTube Red account. Cool. Okay, let's listen to Gareth Jameson. He's a voice coach. He's going to teach me how to speak like a Welshman. This music's kind of trippy. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Yeah, you should be able to hear it in the background. I just didn't want to show the video because I don't have technically permission. Key to accents. Isolate. Specific accent. A sing-song accent. Okay. Wow, this guy has no charisma. Why does this have 1.2 million views? Okay, well, just get to the part. I'm gonna skip forward to the part where he starts talking like at the actual. It's bright outside. It's bright outside. I would fuck this up all the time if I had to speak in a Welsh accent all the fucking time. Jake, come back. John Zamudio has an actual question. John Zamudio, I have a question for you. How do you handle stats in D&D? What do you mean, how do you handle stats? Ask me a real, like, a more specific question, and I will get to it. John Zamudio. I'd ask for modding privileges, but frankly, this is D&D and I'm out of my element. Yeah, I know. Why don't you just fucking learn it? Garbage. Just trash. Trash garbage. Garbage and trash. School night, I gotta go. Oh, you tiny child. Have a good night at school. Jewish mom accent. Hi, I'm Cinda. I'm gonna kill all the dragons on the clamped. That's literally all I got. So Patrick Stewart. Yeah, I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's so mouthy. Why are you closed? What? In your D&D world, has the proletariat seized the means of production? That's all they ever did. Always seize the means of production. I am actually having them, if they decide to liberate a town and they successfully do so, I do have them install they do nation build afterwards. Like they installed a representative democracy the other day. So, like when you multiply stats such as charisma or multiply, you should not be multiplying. Okay, hold on. Let me get to let me open, for instance, an actual character sheet, and I'll look at it with you. And we'll get all looked at. We'll get all of it looked at, huh? The revolution will never end. All right. I think, John, you misunderstand what the numbers on this piece of paper actually mean. So let me get you going here. So this is our level 1 fighter, Jevip Dargel, that we rolled. Stats. These are stats. These are statistics. These are savings throws. These are skills. These are the stats, though. So a strength of 15. Are you saying like how do they get these? Because this is in the player's handbook, I believe, at the beginning. I just know them. Basically, 10 is a flat amount. 10 right here. Then 11 is also flat, and then 12 gets a +1. 13 is a +1, but 14 gets a +2. 14 is a +2. 15 is a +2, but a 16 would be a +3. It goes up by 2s, so every 2 you get +1 to your modifier. And what that does is, say for instance, so we have Jevip Dargel here. We're going to go back to a 2 because all the numbers make sense with the 15. He is proficient in simple and martial weapons. A warhammer is a martial weapon, if I remember correctly. And so his attack bonus is +4. How we get that is he's using strength. So we take the +2 from strength. Boom. He's also proficient in the weapon, so he gets proficiency in bonus in the hit. So that gets +2. 2 + 2 is 4. So a +4 for the warhammer. Then the damage type. The damage type depends on the weapon you have. This is a whole table in the player's handbook for weapons. Warhammer has 1d8. If it's used by one hand, if you have 2 hands on it at the same time and you do it, it gets a d10. And then you roll that and you get a +2. Now the +2 comes from your strength, not your proficiency, because your proficiency is how accurate you are with it, and the strength is how hard you hit with it. So you wouldn't add that to the actual damage, the number of hit points that you subtract from the enemy that you hit. Is that what you're asking me? Because I'm doing my best here. Doing my best. By the way, you got to see a little shot of the dashboard that I deal with. I really want a gnome barbarian. No shin shall be. Do it. It's fun. It's fun enough. So John Zamudio, that's what you were asking. I got it. I want to make sure I get your answer correct. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. I love letting people know how it works because it's really not that hard. It looks like a lot of information up front. You are very welcome. Are you allowed to develop advanced technology in D&D, or does that defeat the purpose? You can. Depends on your DM. Now, what is advanced technology? Is your advanced technology like a fucking laser gun? Because probably not, unless you play in a futuristic setting, which the DM guide has lots of information on. Like you can literally make it whatever world you want. It can be Fallout. It can be, future like Shadowrun-esque. It can be in space. It doesn't matter. Like all the classes will translate just fine, and all the damage and stuff. And they have that you don't have. I see magical laser gun down there by Fuzzy Cat. It doesn't even have to be magical. It can just be a laser gun. So, are you rolling this Dragonborn lady for stats or making it up as you go? Kind of curious about things like intelligence, charisma for her. Also, do NPC stats inform your roleplay of said NPC much? That's a good question. Tell you what, I'm going to not roll it, and I'm going to show you how I do my own stat blocks, because I think that's fun. And that way I can do it on the screen at the same time and still see what's going on. So that's just gotta turn on a little bit. I really need, the more I do this, it becomes more and more apparent that I need 2 screens. So let me okay. Well, that's just too small, isn't it? So we gotta transform this son of a bitch. Dun, 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 dun. Make it a little bit smaller. So we can... We'll just put it up here above my head a little bit. You know? You can't really see that very well. Fuck it. Let's just... the whole thing is going to be this. That's fine. That's just fine. Let me get my chat open on my phone real quick. But this is D&D Monster Maker. It's a free program I found on the interwebs, and it's very cool. And you can make stat blocks, and I will show you how. So you don't actually have to roll everything. What I do is I take something from like the monster manual, and I say, okay, this is roughly you know, how difficult this enemy is, let's go ahead and take some stats from that. But I want it to be a little bit different. Like maybe I want to give it some spell casting. Maybe I want to give it, you know, this or that. I could do that here, and it'll make an actual stat block that you can print out and look at and shit. It's very cool. Okay, I don't actually want to watch my own video. I just want the chat. I just want the chat, my guy. Okay, so, okay, I'm just gonna have to go back and forth between the two. That's just really what's gonna have to happen here. So I will have this over here. Let me see what you guys are saying real quick. So what do you think of classic garbage cheese such as West End games, Star Wars? You can just play whatever you want, man. Why are your curtains gray? Because that's what color they are? Jake, opinion on stat arrays or point buys versus rolling for stats character creation. Hint, one is objectively wrong. I roll. I think that's the best way to do it. I think it makes each character unique instead of very similar. But you know, however you want to run your own game. So we are going to make the character, and it's going to be Cinda, and her gender is female, and her size is medium, and her type is actually humanoid. And I don't think they have. Do they have Dragonborn on here? I don't think they do. So you can just type in here Dragonborn, and her alignment is going to be neutral good, I think. We're not going to fuck with armor class yet, because this stuff might come into play. I'm going to say she has, like, maybe half plate. And then, what level is she? Let's say she's level 10. Probably has D10. Constitution probably close to 16. It's Dragonborn, so let's go 18 strength, maybe 14 dex, 12 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and I like 10 charisma. I don't think she really needs any more than that. I don't think she can fly or anything. So let's go ahead and roll the HP. 85 sounds just about fine with the Constitution, as you see. She's level 10, so she gets to add her Constitution modifier 10 times, which is plus 3, so that's why you get the plus 30 there. 10d10, 85 plus 30. That's good. Or 80, it's 85, so it's 10d10 plus 30, which equals 85. But you're like, oh, I want to see it. So we go to preview, and it takes a second, and then it goes over here, and it's actually a standard stat block, like that. So we can mess with the savings throws, because stat blocks, kind of the only ones you have to know are... let's go with this. Well, plus proficiency, so let's say that, and that's probably all her savings throws. So you go to preview again. Now the savings throws are right here. Senses, she has dark vision, up to 60. We add that, so it comes right here. Damage, exception source. What are black dragons? I forget what black dragons actually do. So let's go ahead and look at the player's handbook and actually find out what black dragons, Dragonborn, 32. So let's go to page 32 real quick. Let me look at this. Let me look. Black Dragonborns are acid. That's what I thought. So she does have a 5 by 30 foot line that she can do once a day. So she is actually, when it comes to acid, she is, let's call her immune to acid. That just makes more thematic sense. Boom. Totally fine. Languages, obviously, common, probably draconic. Let's give her one more just because it's fun. I actually have automaton. Yeah, automaton. That is a language in my world, and because she has a Modron buddy, let's do it. Let me go over to you guys and see what you guys are talking about. What program is this? This is called D&D Monster. Very cool. Just talk amongst ourselves. Fuck you. Fuck you so much. Got to spell the name out, I guess. Just, yeah. Acid breath. So, to add more things, so we add abilities. So this is going to be acid breath. Let's see what it says in the character thing. It's a 5 by 30 foot line, and it is a dex save. Can you actually see that? Now that I think about it, you can't. That's fine. That's fine. Just know that I'm going to do this, and I'll add it in a second. So, 5 by 30 foot line of 1d6 acid damage, and then I'm gonna, because she's an NPC, I'm going to give her a 5 to 6 recharge on it. Dex save of whatever her Constitution modifier is, plus 10, so 13. Boop. Save. So that's going to be there, and now you can see acid breath right there. You could do this however you want. I kind of like that, but I can add actions. So let me add, maybe she has a multi-attack. Cinda can make 2 attacks with her melee or ranged weapons. Actually, breath attack, melee, comma, or ranged weapons. Boom. So we do that. Now it says you can do multi-attack. So, yeah. What kind of weapon should she have, though? What kind of weapons? Quickly engage the revolution. Jake is making an NPC, correct. Let me, just for a moment, come back to you. We could talk for a minute. So what kind of weapon we doing? I do like a crossbow. I do like crossbows. Sickle, giant toothpick, you're the worst. 2 dual short swords. I dig that. Spear to pierce the soft dragon. That's more of a lance. I kind of like the idea of a lance. Let's do a lance. So let's add action. Lance. This is a melee weapon attack. Use strength. And I believe it's a D10. We're just going to call it a D10 regardless. And it is piercing. And its reach is actually 10. And 1 creature. Save. Cool. I'll let you guys look at this all when it's done. There we go. What else you got for me? So definitely a lance. Lance is just really a spear usable. Yeah, but she's going to be big, so we're just going to give her a lance. Fuck it. NPC. Fine. Hey, Jake, I need advice on YouTube video I'm making. You know, the one you promised to watch, Dad. How should the lighting be arranged? Like lit from below, above, reverse trampoline? Well, both sides. Definitely. Typically what you want is one on either side of the camera. Basically, if my face is the camera, it should be on either side of the camera pointing towards you. And then typically they do a third light. Ours is just my ceiling light. So, yeah. Never from below. That's probably good. Yeah. Lighting from below is weird. And I can show you why. This is why lighting from below is a bad idea. It makes you look like shit. It makes my cheeks look very cavernous. Also, lighting from above, not that much better. Especially depending on where it's at. Lighting on one side blooms your face. Lighting off camera. See how there's like shadows and shit being cast? So yeah. Little lighting tutorial from Jakey Poo. But the best I can do right here is just like a little bit of light in front of me, so it's fine for streaming and shit like this. This is like cash, you know? Cash. Anyone having lag between sound and video? You probably will anyway. What's the picture in the background? This one over here is Captain Phasma, and this one over here, oh, you can't see my finger, is many different stormtroopers. No homo, but you have pretty eyes. Homo, bro. Homo. From directly behind your head makes you look holy. Let's see. Does it work? Lance, 1d12 piercing reach if a creature within 5 feet of you have disadvantage. Sure, let's do 1d12. That's fine. Boop. Thanks for checking that out for me. I'll edit this. 1d12. Preview. Cool. We'll save this because sometimes this program crashes on me. I don't know why. NPC ideas. It's like a full 2 seconds behind. I want to tell you. A great club? How is she going to beat up a fucking... I feel like making her, like, punchy if she's within 5 feet. What's a good long-range weapon? I feel like the crossbow that shoots lances is a little overkill, but I think just a normal crossbow is too little. Jake, can you give my channel a shout out when I put out my first atheist vlog soon? This is your shout out. Everyone go see Bernie's Panders. Heavy crossbow. Yeah, I'm kind of up there. This isn't Hugo Benjamin, you fool. Blunderbuss, a little bit too much. Boomerang, actually not terrible. Not a terrible idea. Not a great one either. Javelins. Harpoon gun. I will not do a dab, Benjamin. You're garbage. I kind of like a harpoon gun, actually. That makes a lot of thematic sense. So, kind of like a big harpoon, then shot way high, and then kind of tied around something so you can bring the dragons down. Harpoon gun it is. So, I'm going to add harpoon gun. Harpoon. I'll call it a harpoon crossbow. Type, ranged weapon attack. Again, use strength just because it's so big. We're also going to call that 1d12. There's also going to be piercing. And then the range on that is probably like 30-120. Or let's call it 60-240. And then strength save of 14 or grappled. Save. There we go. That's cool as shit. That's a really cool idea. There you go. Deborah Hopkins almost didn't see this. $2. To be fair, you're both not Hugo, Jake and Jake. That's not actually true. You're garbage. Just found a stream. How are we being D&D idea slaves for Jake this time? Jerry, first of all, it wasn't my idea this time. It was y'all's idea. And second of all, we made an NPC. So, you know. Yeah. Super Chat was a little bit behind my shit. Smoke grenades. Kind of into smoke grenades. Used them before. Hey, Dad, our YouTube partnership has given me tentative hope for our relationship, so if you fuck me on this, I will be devastated. Also, what kind of microphone should I use? Thanks. A nice cheap microphone for people that are just starting out is something like this. It's a Blue Yeti microphone. It has decent stuff, but as you can tell, I can exceed the threshold of this pretty easily, and it's sometimes it has a little tinny sound to it, so you know, it's not perfect, but it's good. After she hooks the dragon, she pulls into tear apart its underbelly with her lance. Perfect. Yeah, I thought so. It sounds pretty cool. Some sort of knife or maybe a short sword considering her size. Okay, explain to me... explain to me like what the hunting knife should look like. Let's call it a hunting knife, but it can be as long as a short sword. What computer RPG is worth playing right now? Divinity 2? Witcher 3 is always good. I just got a brand new graphics card, so I look forward to doing some more stuff. Not Pass effects. Pillars of Eternity is really good. Heavy crossbow is 1d10 and 100 to 400 for reference. Yeah, I just made up a harpoon gun though, so yeah, appreciate you. It's a little bit shorter range because it's shooting harpoons and not crossbow bolts. And it's a little bit stronger because it's shooting harpoons and not crossbow bolts. Giant skinning knife, serrations on one side, reptile leather, Divinity 2, Pillars of Eternity. What is character for? They wanted to make an NPC, so we tried. Pillars of Eternity or Divinity. Oh man, that's tough. I kind of like Pillars as an RPG more, and Divinity as a game more. If that makes sense. I don't know. Later, Dusty Jans. Never not going to say it like that. A knife made out of a dragon claw so it couldn't cut through dragon scale and flesh. So that's cool. So what if it's a dragon claw that's been shaved down to the like an actual edge, and the opposite side has serrations, and then this is made out of like the finger bone. Yeah? That's cool. So let's call it Dragon Dagger. Dragon Dagger. It is a melee strength, and it's actually going to do 1d6 because it's more of a short sword, but slashing. Boop. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's very cool, man. So let me show you this real quick because it's just rad. Not that one. That one. So yeah, so you can see we have they put our AC at 15. That's probably fine. Hit points at 85, also fine. We've got our strength saves and throws. We've got dark vision, passive perception. We didn't do the challenge rating yet. We can do that ourselves. She speaks automaton, common, and draconic, which makes sense. She has acid breath. Of course, she has her multi-attack actions. She's got a lance, harpoon, crossbow, and dragon dagger. And I think that's, honestly, that's super cool. That's probably good. She's probably only like a challenge level 2 or so, maybe 3. I'd probably put her at a 3. But we're not necessarily trying to kill her anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter what I put that at. But that is cool, and I will save it because it's rad. Boop, boop. And then you can save it as a PNG wherever you would like to be. Save it. And it saves that actual stat block that you can use and print out, which is why I love it so much. What are Cinda's personality? What is her armor? Half plate I had is her armor. She is kind of a badass motherfucker. Her armor's half plate. I assume before I used her, I would probably give her, you know, I like the aesthetic of how black dragons look in general. So I wouldn't try to cover it up too much. Like the half plate would cover here in like her torso, and then her arms would be exposed, and her claws would be exposed and stuff, and then the plate would go down like a skirt, kind of like, you know how plate goes around anyway, and then some greaves and maybe like a tunic bottom or like just normal pants, bottoms, trousers, and no, she's not naked, and probably carries around 2 big quivers on her back for the harpoons, And then on her side is the gun, and maybe the Modron carries it around sometimes or something. And that's why she has him, so she can get handed the big thing. And then otherwise she's got the lance and the dagger. Obsessed with the hunt, yeah. I don't know what you guys are you guys like memeing like down there? I don't understand. The robot thingy is the harpoon. It's like Kaiser Soze. No. I don't understand this anime thing, but I don't like it. How many harpoons can she carry? Well, I figure she'll probably have like close to a dozen that she probably reharvests. Because she's big, and her strength is like 18, so she could have 2 quivers on the back with 6 harpoons in them each. He's back! She is the black dragon. Well, she's a black dragon, that's for sure. Fire brass half plate. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I'm into that. Why does she have a Modron? Because that's her sidekick we decided on, my guy. His name is Quincy. I don't like the idea of the Modron and the Black Dragonborn being lovers, no. Having a Modron turn into a weapon that tears the target from the inside out is cool. I mean, that sounds cool until you try to like understand why it even has an AC or hit points to begin with. It can just do that. How would you fuck a cube? You rub on one of its sides to completion. Idiot. Stupid. I kind of like the idea of many Modrons making up something that looks like something that isn't Modrons, like a Megazord type thing, and then finding out it's just many different ones, but you know, Dwemer spheres, they kind of look like that. Her lance, maybe. He's not going to turn into anything. It's just not going to happen. Can you say racism? Yes. Racism. She needs quick draw. I guess. I mean, you can change weapons for free action. I don't. Hey Jake, I play SW Edge of the Universe. How is it different? Is it Star Wars Edge of the Universe? I don't. How different is D&D? I don't know. I've never played. I assume Star Wars Edge of the Universe is a tactical game, like it's a battle game. You're not bothering with the Modron lore? We can bother with the Modron lore. What's Quincy's backstory, dude? Was he made by Cinda? Was he purchased by Cinda? Or did he just kind of show up? Can the Modron at least self-destruct? No. Terrible. I imagine Primus. Okay. Imagine the automaton could be a stereotypical pompous butler. Would that work? Faraday donated another $5. They could bicker like siblings almost or longtime besties, but they still make a great and efficient team. Okay. Yes. I agree with that. That's fun. Maybe like a C-3PO sort of thing. Bicker on, off, but make great team. This is going to be fun. Is there a plane where Modrons come from or not? No. Modrons in my world are races. They're people. They are a race of people. Wow, the other chat is really behind. I mean, maybe. Not really. The other chat for me is exactly when it comes up on live chat. That's why it seems behind for you. YouTube is a little bit slower than like Twitch, for instance. Farrah, you loaded as fuck. Yeah, Farrah's been awesome tonight. Very cool. Thank you so much. Yes, an official lore, not yeah. My lore is very different. In my lore, the Modrons, specifically they're called automatons because they're not all Modrons. Like, Warforged and stuff are also automatons. They have their own society, and they are human beings for all intents and purposes, but the gnomes that invented them are trying to change that to make them subjugated again because some stuff happened. And the main city changed. This is my Xmas to myself. Well, I appreciate it. Christmas to me too. Woo! It really does help, though, by the way, guys. So, Farah is my favorite, and you all guys all suck. How does one who is poor as shit and has no interest in friends get into D&D? Play it online for free. Seriously. Play it online. Join our tabletop section on the official Discord, which is in the description, I believe. Is it? Nope, it's not. Let me get the official Discord. Let me get it. I will get it for you. Count on it. Count on it happening. Invites. Jakey Poo. Okay, and discord.gg/that. You're going to have to copy and paste that. That is not a link. So copy and paste that. And there you go. Love this much depth. My DM sucks. I'm sorry that your DM sucks. DMs being sucky. Yeah. All these races you're mentioning, they're official D&D, right? Sometimes. Depends. They don't always have to be official. You can make whatever you want. D&D is not rigid. I have no idea why people who have never played it think it's so rigid, but I think it's because there's a little bit of a... Like, you draw on your video game experience and assume everything is rules, but it's not. Esme is one of my players. The DM is me. Oh, I see. Yeah. At least, okay. I will say that Eagle Cohort is a good DM, and he tries really hard, and that I appreciate his efforts. Do automatons build more of each other? What does the automaton family look like? Or are they just built as fully formed adult automatons and sent on their way? Good questions. In my world, automatons build what they need. So they build other automatons as a necessity. They don't have familial wants like that. They want to have use. And they want to provide a service, I guess, is kind of their programming. And so if a Modron doesn't have a thing to do, it kind of stops existing in a way that is meaningful, if that makes sense. So their minds are always like task oriented, but that's what makes them happy. So it's not like a bad thing. But they don't like this subjugation thing that the gnomes do. The Modrons, specifically the automatons in general, feel that they make superfluous life, I guess. And so they feel like that gnomes make some automatons just to sit there and suffer because they don't have things to do, because they're extra. They don't, it's kind of it's a little bit of an analog on whether you want a gadget or you need a gadget, I guess. But yeah. So slaves, not slaves. Just a higher society. Yeah. Goodbye, Seaboom. More like Seabum. That's probably why you named yourself that, because you're a troll piece of shit. You're garbage. You're garbage, and I hate you. The dingy medieval Borg, kind of, but without any of the sort of, Borginess, where they don't try to assimilate and stuff. So the Modrons don't have the caste system where the number of sides it has, the more complex or higher up they are. It might in the books, but again, I don't go by that. So they use absolute law and order, absolute hierarchy. Modrons communicate only with their own rank. Yeah, they have ranks, so they do have a caste system as far as the book is concerned. And yeah, I believe it is the higher. Yeah, because this pentadrone is being mean to this monodrone. So yeah, I assume the they're also based on a god Mechanus. So yeah, they have their own thing, but not in mine. They're just kind of all equal, and they're made for a specific purpose. So, like, the way they look in the book also isn't kind of my thing. Why are you spelling it Quincy? That's so weird to me. Quincy, with an I. Quincy was found on a hunt all broken. I like that, yeah. Quincy found and fixed by Cinda. Mechanist is the plane, Primus is the god. I see. Goodbye, Cherry Blossom. Farewell. What kind of Modron is he? I'm going to go with a Monodrone, because it's cute and fun. But it doesn't need the stats from that. That's the point. I don't know if you're right or wrong. I'm just going with what you're saying. I don't know. I do my own thing, and then I look in the books to see what fits. That's kind of the way that it works best for me in my brain, so I don't have to follow a bunch of rules, because I'm an anarchist at heart. Even though I think anarchy is absolute trash, it only works for me. The only one that can be trusted with that power. Maybe he's disconnected from the hive mind? Yeah, that's good. Disconnected from hive mind. And actually, the proximity that Cinda and Quincy would have to be to all of this makes a lot of sense, so that we can have the players kind of get their next hook. Good idea. Key Wolf, currently pulling an all-nighter for painting that's due for my final tomorrow. Thanks for keeping me company, Jake and chat. No problem, X Wolf X. Key Wolf X. Enjoy painting. If he's disconnected from the hive mind, he'd have trouble discerning individuality, wouldn't he? He would, in my head, how that automatically started working is, it wouldn't be that he has a problem with individuality. It'd be he has a problem with not always being able to receive orders, and so Cinda would be constantly sort of like, that's maybe why they bicker a lot, is because Cinda would be like, I don't need your fucking help all the time. Like, leave me alone sometimes. You just kind of. He's got to adapt to it, but because he's not part of the hive mind, he doesn't feel compelled all the time. So it's starting to become less like suffering to him to have downtime, and more like just kind of how life works when you're not part of it. So yeah, this is plot stuff, so I don't want to get into it too much. Does he have to ask permission to piss? No, he wouldn't also have to piss because he doesn't have a digestive system. Silly question. What is the most evil thing one of your players have done? I don't know about evil. I don't like grades of evil and good. But the cleric, because she does not she doesn't abide by necromancy. She broke the kneecaps of 4 recent necromancers and just left them in the woods. That was pretty rad and kind of sick, but you know. Would such individuality be frightening? Definitely at first, but I think by the time we get to them, it'd have been past the point of fright and more into the, you know, just a general unease, maybe fidgety a lot, you know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff, waiting for its turn to do stuff all the time. Damn it, Quincy. Modern algebra final, that sounds lame. Hey, look, Jake, not for nothing, but you guys with your YouTube nonsense really saved my life for a while I needed it a bit ago. I was in a rough place and laughing with you guys helped, so thanks. I appreciate that, Kevin Norris. I appreciate that, and I'm glad we can help. We actually get that a lot, surprisingly. It's sad and happy at the same time. It's sad to know that you guys have, like, enough bad shit going on that, like, that I have to help you, but also I'm glad that I can help. So if you need it, I'm glad that I give it sometimes, and I hope, you know, I don't know. That's one thing that makes this job extra worth it, I think. Jonathan Campos, so can I use your Discord to find an online D&D group, or am I misunderstanding? In the Discord, all the way to the left, if you scroll down at the bottom, there is, under gaming, a tabletop section, and in that, I promise you, you can find at least somebody to try to, you know, maybe that will be into doing an online campaign with you. And if not, I'm sure a lot of them would like to talk to you about it until they can get to the point, or you can find another game, something. They're very helpful, typically. So, you have uplifting voices. It's cool. Well, I appreciate you. Baby birds flock to Daddy Jake. Yes, come to me, my birds. Let me vomit back into your mouth. Yeah, and of course, since he's not perfectly fixed, he's a little quirky comedic relief. Yeah, I actually already kind of have a voice for him in my head. He would kind of sound like a normal robot, kind of like the Danger Will Robinson, but he would say funny things. I don't know. I almost always improv that shit, if you couldn't guess. But, yeah, so he'd be, I don't know. He wouldn't swear and stuff, but yeah, he'd be fun. You like helping because you're a Modron. That's right. What was the weirdest thing Eagle Cohort made you roll for? Well, I didn't play a lot. I think we only played 2 sessions. Craziest thing? I still disagree with the placement of the ankegs and whether or not they would have been able to tremor sense me based on the area of the cave. Because I don't think you can tremor sense through the air. That's not how tremor sense works. It works from square footage. So, I don't know. He may be right still, but I still disagree with that. I was spider walking on the top of a cave, like on the ceiling of a cave, I guess. And the ankegs, which are like bug-like things, they have tremor sense, which means they can feel. You measured it. Whatever. I disagree. And I think it's 120 feet for them. So if you judge by from like just horizontally from the sides, they probably could have. Yeah, but still, it was a good idea on my part, and you ruined it. You ruined it forever. Planning on running a 5e module, TOA or TFTYP, Tomb of Annihilation or Tales from the Yawning Portal? Yeah, I got both. As my first real-time DMing, I'm going to be running with a very large group first timer. Any tips for making an introduction to D&D a good one? Well, Ryan, I hate modules. It's boring for me. However, I understand that some people really enjoy them. My girlfriend actually has them. I have Tales from the Yawning Portal right now, and I'll tell you why it's a good thing, and also why I disagree with it being your first time. I think, okay, I'm too biased. It's good for you. It's good for you. You have to know tips. You have to know. Read this and know it. Read ahead of where you're going to be and know it. And like really genuinely know it. And like go through it and practice out loud how you would say things. Practice reading it out loud, because once you hear it, you won't fuck up when you speak out loud because it's your first time. I don't use these because it doesn't let me be as creative as I'd like. But maybe that's not for you. Maybe they just needed a DM, and you were like, okay, I really want to do this, and this is the way to do it. And I really like Tales from the Yawning Portal, or I really like Tomb of Annihilation, whatever. That's fine. Or you just strap for time, which is these are really good tools for people to strap with time, because then you don't have to actually like do your own shit. But I just find the process is so much more gratifying for me after they go through a thing that I did, or that you guys, not as much content as you think has come from you guys, but the stuff that I have used that you guys have done with each other and with me, yeah, I really like that. So and sit down before more tips to make it a good experience. Sit down before the game starts. This doesn't really have to do with DMing. Well, it kind of does, but not like the actual gameplay of DMing. Make sure that everyone knows, like, don't be on your fucking phone all the time. Don't be rude. Let other players shine when it's their moment. Talk in character as often as possible. Ask questions when it's your turn to ask questions, and like, don't be rude. It's a game that you're all working together with. You're not a one-player game. So even if you are a thief, No, you can't go off and do your own thing in another part of the map. You're with a team. If you want to do that, we can role play that in between sessions a little bit, and I'll roll some stuff. But you can't do nearly as much stuff as when you're with the whole group. If you absolutely need to go off and do your own thing. Now, sometimes when we're in a big city and they all know the locations and stuff, and they're done like looking around, or they, maybe one person, like my ranger, wanted to go see like I want to go find some arrows, and the cleric wanted to go find some books. Okay, we can do that, but I'm doing you one at a time. And you're just going to sit there and wait then. That's just how it goes. You're not part of the game. This is all happening simultaneously, so you split off. But the first person to ask me, I'm going to go around the table, and you each get to do one thing while we're all doing this, and then you can wait, and then we can do another thing, if that's what you want to do. If you want to split up like that, that's fine. But if you all go together, we can do it much quicker and all at the same time. So that's very important. Another thing is know what your fucking characters do. Know what your modifiers are. Know that if you roll an attack with your dagger, it is a +5 to hit due to your dexterity and proficiency bonus, and it is a +3 due to your dexterity on your damage rolls if you do hit. Know that you can, if you are a rogue, you can hide, dodge, disengage, dash with your cunning action if you're that level. Know that with a wizard, you can, how spells work, what your spell slots are, what spells you have available in your spell book. Know that if you are a fighter, even if you're just level 1, know what you're going to do. Again, know your roles, know your character's name, know your appearance. Be ready to introduce yourselves. If the DM wants to introduce you, that's fine. You're the DM though, so that's your decision. I usually let them. And also, give them moments to breathe and talk and sit down and ask, what would you want to do? What do you want to do? As much as you possibly can without, opening yourself up to situations where you can't handle what they want to do, if that makes sense. So definitely sit down with them before it happens and be like, hey, this is my first time. This is your first time. It's going to be clunky, but I need you all to work as a team. Like that's number one. So yeah, that's the thing. Do you know how to cope with unprovoked sadness? Go to a doctor because you have actual depression, most likely. As far as how I cope with unprovoked sadness, I don't get it because I don't have depression. But if I was sad, I try to stay busy and do things I love regardless of, like eat comfort food and do something stupid and boring or fun, like build a model, like watch something silly on TV, even if like you should be going to sleep or doing something responsible. Have you time. Vet asks, hey Jake, how do I get my friends interested in playing a game of D&D? They always give the basic excuses of, I don't have time, I don't think that I will like it, it takes too long, blah blah, send help. Number 1, get new friends. Your friends sound boring as fuck. Number 2, bet them that they're wrong. Bet them something that you can actually give. Like maybe, if you enjoy it, you can keep coming and we can play more. Or I will get you a single cinnamon twist from Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? But I think I think you should people should meet it with enthusiasm, and you should. It might be the way you're selling it, but if that's the case, sit down and watch like an episode of Critical Role with them, something that's fun, or I don't know, send them to my videos because I'll talk their ass into it. You masturbate. There you go. What else? What else? What else? Other questions do you have? Mr. Brain Fog. Jake, you vaguely remind me of my brother. Pre-heroin addiction. That's a compliment. That is a lot to unpack. That is... Sorry about your brother. Never done heroin. How much do you like Stormtroopers? Enough. Try having your friends watch others play D&D. Try running a short, quick session that gives them an intro to the game. Yes. Yeah, and if your friends don't have a good time, you won't either. That's good. That's all good advice from XKeyWolfX. Space Skirpies, what's going on? What's going on with you, Space Skirpies? How do I make a DM in the D&D club at my school? Stop calling me a faggot. I am gay. Usually I don't give a fuck, but it persists, and we do. This is outside. This is outside of D&D. Tell that guy to fuck the fuck off. And tell whoever is in charge at that school, I assume the D&D club has someone in charge of it, tell that fucking person. That person shouldn't talk to you like that. Fuck that guy. Yeah, definitely fuck that guy. I mean, you know what I mean. Tell that person to fuck off. They're garbage. Logan, you don't need to put up with that shit. Fuck that. I'll come to your school and beat your bully up, goddammit. Yeah, these people are just assholes. That's way outside of D&D. That doesn't matter. Anyway. I support you. Do you want to turn your volume up so I can yell at them? Because I'll do that. I will do that. Would you bang your girlfriend while both of you wear stormtrooper helmets? I guess. I don't know why. Yeah. Jake, the hero we need. Yeah, I should be can I just be benevolent dictator for a little while? Make light of the comments towards you and turn it back on them. It helps. I am so fucking witty that kind of works for me, but some people aren't witty, and some people just get buried under the flame war. So if you are not someone that thinks that you can zing it back at that person, and be honest with yourself when you assess this situation, because I typically am, but I don't always go back at people, because sometimes maybe they're right about something. I don't know. But you just shouldn't have to put up with that shit. Fuck that guy. 10 years ago, I used to think D&D was too nerdy. Now I've played D&D, Pathfinder, Magic the Gathering, and World of Warcraft. I am the ultimate nerd. Yeah, D&D seems insurmountably nerdy, I think, to a lot of people, because it's kind of just this fringe thing. But once I learned about it and played a little bit, yeah, it's just like it's so goddamn exciting. If you play any video games with any RPG elements at all, you've played parts of D&D before. It's so familiar once you get in there. Jake is a beautiful human being. It's a pleasure to be here for this. Thank you. I don't know if you're being genuine, but thanks, guy. Yes, zinging is key. Zings are good. I'm almost done. I'm getting a little schlippy, but might play a little something in a little bit to test out my new graphics card. But thank you, Desolve. Appreciate you. Very nice of you. I don't know. I taught for a little bit. I hate when other kids bully people. It's so stupid to me. How do you keep track of all your NPCs? MPCs? I think you meant NPCs. I'm just making sure. I keep track of all my NPCs in my brain because I make them all memorable for me. And some of them just die, so that's fine. But I do write them all down in my books, and I have printed out things for everything. So yeah, I also have that, and I keep their stat blocks in my computer. So, and I actually organize by location. So if I have different stat people, different NPCs, I have them organized by location. So yeah. Vet says, honestly, it's a really good chance my friends just aren't fun, or they think D&D is something totally not what it is. Yeah, I mean, it depends on who your friends are. Also, I don't know. It depends on how old you are. High school kids, typically, it's hard for people to be super honest with each other, and D&D sounds not cool, you know what I mean? So if you ask in a group of people in high school, like at lunch or something, they might not do it. But if you're an adult, yeah, just sell it to them and be super honest and be like, it'd mean a lot to me if you guys, like, sat down with me and tried this once. And if it sucks, it sucks, but we'll get pizza and have, sodas or beers or whatever you got going on, and we'll hang out for a little bit. And at worst, literally at worst, we hung out for a few hours and dicked around. That's fine. I think that's fun. Unconventional races as player characters, gnolls, or whatever else comes to mind. Opinions. Yeah, go for it, personally. As long as that race exists in my world, or I can try to make it work in my world, but that's not always it's not always a guarantee that I can do that. But Volo's Guide has monster races that you can play as. It's a really cool book. I really love Volo's Guide. We have about 34 members total in our school. Do you go to a Baptist school? Fuck, man. You live in South Dakota? Okay, Space Skirpy says, most fun character I've ever made in an RPG game was Four-Armed Alchemist in Pathfinder. He could hold 4 bombs at once and almost one-shot anything that was important. I hate Pathfinder for the exact thing you liked it, and that's because all the characters are just overpowered, boring. There's no like stakes in Pathfinder. You're just all fucking superheroes. 18, first year of college, professor just working, so they could think it's just like, yeah, okay, so you're old enough to where you probably have, if you have friends and you're in college, they're just out of high school, so you've already pared down your immediate friends list to the important ones that mean something to you. Just be honest with them. Be like, hey, honestly, I really want to try this. I've been seeing it all over the place. It would mean, if you say the words, it would mean a lot if we could make a day and try this out. I think you'll get some bites on that. Do you play music when you DM, like different video games music or just different situations? Yeah, we play music. My girlfriend is actually in charge of that because I didn't want to be, because it's her tablet and she uses it for spells and shit, and I didn't want to move it back and forth and all that shit. Yes. In my ideal DMing setup, I would have my own laptop and shit right there, but I don't use a laptop when I DM. All paper, boy. There was literally a superhero class. Yeah. Garbage. This will help me a lot. You can even ask Eagle Cohort, how do I appease the roll god so I can roll at least above a 4? You have to have a ritual. That's a fact. For instance, my ranger has now been rolling well. You take your D20, you stand up, you walk around your chair, and you roll it with the same motion every time directly into your dice tray. That's how you do it. Would you ever be okay with a slime or slime folk player race? Do you have any recommendations, or would you just make your own? Not okay. There's this like Zach from League of Legends. I would allow, and as you leveled up, you would gain abilities for your race, and we'd have to homebrew that. But yes, I would allow it, but it wouldn't be just a slime that you could just slide under any door, because that's just boring. It wouldn't be that until you were like high level. You know, after door locks and stuff are not a thing. But yeah, being an amoeba-like creature has some gameplay issues with it that I don't like, that you can try to bypass as a slime player. So we would talk about these things beforehand. I love the videos of you playing League with friends. Thank you, Logan. Yeah, we'll probably be doing that again. I'm going to try to stream more often. I just have to get my sleep schedule regular. I've had a really fucking hard time sleeping recently. So, and then I slept a shit ton yesterday. So, Final Homebrew one seems pretty cool. Is it on D&D Wiki? Go ahead and put a link in the chat there without the actual, don't put the dot or whatever, so I can copy and paste it and open it up. What would you do if your friends just kept killing NPCs after they give the necessary information? If you're the DM, I would give them something they can't kill, so that they'll learn their lesson. And I'd have them go to prison and do unfun things when they did fucked up things. Yeah, you can't just kill everything. Have you been playing with the idea of any homebrewed races for your campaign, Jake? Yeah, I mean, I homebrew a lot of it. The only difference is players can't necessarily homebrew races as much as I can, because they have to play within a certain set of rules so that everything's balanced. But the enemies don't have to be balanced. But yeah, some of them are using not real race. Like the Aarakocra is technically not a race in any official D&D book. So, as far as 4 players, it's definitely a thing. But, it is I think it's Unearthed Arcana where that's, or Forgotten Realms. I think, no, it's Unearthed Arcana, I think, where that player race is a thing. Yeah. But it's not for players. It's not. It doesn't have an official book yet. I don't think. Elemental Evil. Elemental Evil is playtest material, though. Right? There's a player's companion. Let me see. Isn't that just playtest material right now? Until they put it out? I forget. Let me see. Yeah, that's the one he uses, I think. Flight of 50 feet, talons, language. Yeah, this is the one he uses. But I don't know if that's actually. But yeah, that's what he uses anyway. What's the big difference between Pathfinder and normal current D&D? Pathfinder has terrible balance. It's just fucking terrible balance. It's got a lot more numbers that you got to deal with. I find it to be cumbersome. I have 2 ex-Pathfinder players, and they said we'll never go back as long as D&D 5e is a thing. And it's a thing as long as we want it to be, because it happens in our heads. Okay, about 5 more minutes, and then old Jakey Poo's head for the door. Gonna go sleep with my puppy and cuddle him. Girlfriend's already asleep. Rats. What do I need to do to be able to post the link? Post it without the .com or whatever. What did you think of 4E? I didn't play 4E, but from what I read in it, it's too limiting. It focuses on 5e is so loosey goosey with a lot of stuff, and that's what I really like about it. People like the billion rules in 4e if you like 4e or 3.5. I have a ton of D&D minis from 20 years ago. I wonder if they have value. They have value to me. Send them to my P.O. box. Send them to my P.O. box and I'll use them. I could use them. I love minis, for the record. If you send me minis, I will... Ugh, you'll be my favorite person. Just any of you. My biggest problem with 5e is that there isn't a whole lot of base class variety, but that can be changed with homebrew. That is exactly the answer. I don't understand that if people think that. I don't know. They're just not creative enough, I guess. Also, 3.5 or 5e has a lot of things so that you can multi-class really easily, and that's kind of where they get to. Xanathar. I don't know what you're talking about. I have Xanathars. I will make a Sunday mini. I don't know what Sunday is. I don't know what that is. Cinda. Oh. Cinda. Cinda with an S, by the way. Cinda. Go for it. As in the guide. Adds tons of new class variety. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's tons of class variety. There's like race feat options. I mean, it's just got so much. And again, you don't even need to use the stuff that's just in the books. You just have to have enough information to know if it's balanced or not. So yeah, the idea that 5e doesn't have enough options for people is so kind of weird. So I'm kind of the leader of my group, and we are very roleplay heavy, but one of my friends don't really know how to roleplay. They are new to this. So how do I try to encourage them to roleplay? We a band. The common magic items are amazing. Any specific kind of minis you prefer? No. Anything that you think is awesome. Honestly. Monsters that you think would be fun. Even if they're hordes of monsters, like it doesn't have to be just one big epic monster. Like right now I'm looking into orcs, elves, I would need the Cloak of Billowing was funny. Orcs, elves, Dragonborn warriors, drow, pirates, shit like that. And then, of course, they could be, like, big enemies as well. Cinda. 2 a.m. Good night, Vet. I'm also going to leave soon. Honestly, if you... Back to Logan Rude's question about role-playing. They don't have to, like, buy in as far as the voice is concerned. But take that person aside and be like, hey, it's fine. Like, just, come on. Do it a little bit. And then talk to the DM and maybe have them, like, really... talk to that specific person in voice. You're live at 7 a.m. No, it's not 7 a.m. for me. Come on. Get out of your Eurocentric timing. Back to Dark Dungeons. Yeah, Dark Dungeons is fun. What a good thing. The creators of that movie got back to us after we did our review. They liked the review. So... Anyway. Alright, peeps. I'm going to head off for the night. I love each one of you individually. Someone said burn your books. I guess burn your books. Watch Mazes and Monsters. I'll look at it. Alright. I'm going to bed. I don't have a pentagram on my floor. And yeah, so thanks so much. I will make sure that this ends up in a game at some point. Bye, guys. Also, make sure, if you're not subscribed, for some reason you're here, go ahead and subscribe. Give it a like. Check out the Streamlabs and throw me a tip. Help me pay the bills around here. And love you tons. Love you tons.